The today's topic is the PHP loops. So we will discuss different types of loops, the loops, while loop, DoWhile loop, for loop, and the nesting of for loops. How you will create nested for loop. Clear? So first of all, let's come to the definition of loops. What are loops? Might be you remember, but if you forgot, so have a look at it again from the PHP point of view. So recently we have been working in the decision making statements. What are the decision making statements? All of your if, nested if else, switch, these are the decision making statements. Clear? So far you looked at the decision that a script can make about what code to execute. Whether if your expression is right, so it will execute one part which is right. Whether it is wrong, so then it will execute the second part. So script can also decide how many times to execute a block of code. Here we mean about the loops. If the PHP script, the code which you are writing in the block of PHP, that is known as the script, and PHP is a scripting language. So in that we use different if-else statements. So that script can also decide that how many times I need to execute the loop. I need to execute some block of statement. I need to execute one statement or more than one statement or the body of loop. So the script have also the ability to work as same. So loop statements are designed to enable you to achieve repetitive tasks almost without exception. What is exception? Without having any problem. If you want to execute it for 100 times, it will execute 100 times. For 1000 times, it will execute for without any exception. Okay? A loop continues to operate until a condition is achieved, until your statement becomes false, or you explicitly choose to exit the loop. That is up to you. Now let's come to the while loop. In PHP, there are two different methods to define the while loop. I will show you both of them, working in both of them. The while structure provides a way to repeatedly loop through a statement block. The number of times the statement block is executed depends on the total times of expression evaluates to true. In the expression, this is the expression block, until the expression will remain true, your loop will start executing itself. On the stage, it becomes false, loop will be terminated. Same as your other languages as well. So the general form of the while loop is this one, and in the PHP, it supports the C++ style as well. Clear? It supports the PHP style. This one is the PHP style. You can use this one as well, and you can use the C++ as well. Clear? So now let's come to the program. I'm going to create a while loop program. So using both of these syntax. So creating a new file of type PHP. Let me magnify it. Inside the block of PHP, I'm going to define a variable for to checked by the loop. So counter is equal to 1. That is a loop variable. While, first of all, I'm using this expression, okay? This one, the C++ expression. Clear? Then I will use the PHP expression. So while, and in front of while, writing the condition. Counter. So this is the counter variable which will be checked by the while loop. It is less than or equal to 12, suppose, and the body of while loop, the same like your C++. Now inside that I'm writing print the, as I told you, inside the string the PHP variable will act as a variable, not as a string. Clear? So, or you can use, first of all I will show you both of the methods. You can use this method as well. Directly you will write the counter and any string which you want to print, or the second one is you can write it as it is and then use the concatenation. So both are fine. So I'm using a string that is Kardan University, and to increment the loop variable, so counter plus plus. Plus plus is the increment variable, semicolon, save it, and we will save it in the directory of WAMP server. The name is loops, type is PHP, save it, and now we will run it in the browser. WAMP server is running. Yes. So you have seen, so we need to include one line break as well. So after the Kardan University, I'm using a line break, clear, and give one space from this side as well. So now refresh the page. So that is executed for 12 times, clear, and that is showing the value of these numbers, are showing you the value of counter, clear. Kardan University is executed for first time, for second, third, and up to the fourth time, clear. Now we will see the second method, the PHP type of while loop. So this is the PHP type of while loop, clear, that how you are going to create it with the second method. So I'm making this one as a comment and using the same program. So defining one variable counter, defining the one variable counter is equal to 1, while the same condition less than or equal to 12. Now in front of the counter, in front of the condition, the expression, you will use the full colon. That is the second method. Write print. What you want to print? I want to print the same statement, that counter, show me the counter, Kardan University, and line break, semicolon, and in the end of the PHP style you need to write end while. You need to tell that this loop is ended. And wait, counter increment.
And the variable should not be inside the double quotation, right?
Yes. You can create the body as well, clear, and you can use directly as well. Save it and we will see the result this time, then I will explain. Let me change some values so you will get to know the difference. BCS department, clear. So this time the loop is executed with the PHP type, PHP style, clear. So we have seen that this is the known method of using the while loop, as you have used that in the C++ as well. That while, in front of while you will write the condition, and in the parenthesis or the body of while you will use the increment and the statement which you want to print. Now what in the PHP type? In the PHP you need to write the while, in front of that the condition, full colon, and the statements which you want to execute, and in the end you need to write end while, that your body of the loop is finished here. Yes. I'm writing one more program with the PHP while loop type, okay? So defining a variable number, and its value is 1. Now while number is less than or equal to 20, suppose, full colon, print, you can use this method as well, okay, this one, number, and then concatenate it with the string. You can perform some functions or some operations on the variable as well. So that is number multiply by concatenate is concatenate it with the variable 2 let me make this one as comment. Save it and we will see the result. So 2 multiplied by 2, 4, and 4 multiplied by 2 is equal to 8, and so on. Clear? Now what was in the program? Look at the code. Look at the code. First of all, print a table. This is the table tag, and if you are using any HTML tag inside the PHP block, so you need to write it in the double quotation. So table, the border should be of 1 pixel, the background color should be that one, anyone you define, alignment should be center. Now the loop start from here. While execute the loop for 10 times and print the table row. Clear? So this statement will be repeated. These all statements will be repeated for 10 times. Clear? For 10 times these all statements will be repeated. What are the statements? First, in the row, in the first row, the table column, the first column should print the count value. What should be the count value when first it 1? Then in the next column, this is the next column, in the next column print the word x, multiply. In the third column, again show me the same value. If the loop is executing for the first time, you can write it in the one line as well, but I break it to make it more understandable. Again print the value 1. Clear? Look at it will print 1, then x, and then again 1 in the second column. Then in the fourth column, again print the variable the word x, the alphabet x, and in the last again print the value. So what will happen? Look at, I'm writing it in one line. First of all, it will show you 1, then multiply 1, multiply 1, and in the last column show me that variable multiply by the same value and multiply by the same value. So 1 multiply by 1 multiply by 1, 2 multiply by 2 multiply by 2. The result will be displayed in the last column. And then close the row. Increment it. Once these all statements are executed, then increment, so the value will be changed to 2. Now this time the value will become 2 multiply by 2 multiply by 2. The result 8 will be stored in this column. Clear? And again execute until the condition become false, and while, and close the table. Clear? That was the program. Works in much the same way as the while, but the only difference is it will not check the condition before. It will check the expression at the end, at the last, that whether the expression you provided, is it valid, is it fulfilling the criteria, is it eligible or not. Clear? So it will execute whatever you write for one time and then again check the expression. If it is right, then it will execute for the particular number of times you define the expression. If it is wrong, then it will skip and go to the next PHP statement inside your PHP script. So it is important to note that a do-while loop will always execute at least once. So you can use them in such cases where you want to execute some statements without caring about true or false for just one time. Clear? So the syntax is do and the body of do while loop, and the condition is in the end. So we will create a simple program to check that how it works. So defining one variable, suppose marks, or suppose number is equal to 2 or 190. 190 is okay. I will show you how it works. Do, this is the body of do, and this is the last while part and expression. Clear? Now inside the while, I'm going to create a condition that number is equal to or greater than 200, and you can use this and you can use these and, both will work. Number is less than or equal to 300. So this is the condition part. Now inside that, I'm going to write some statement to execute. Print that execute it for you use the logical operator as well. So it is checking both of the sides, that whether the value which you provided is true or not. So look at the code. Number is 290. This is the initial, this is the start point. Do execute. When the value was wrong, it was 190. So 190 is not in the range of 200 and 300. So it was executing just 190 for one time. When you change it to 250, clear? So it will execute it and check the condition. The 250 is in between 200 and 300. So loop will get its initial value 250, not the 200. So it will start executing from the 250 up till the last limit. Clear? That is your do while loop. And read the slide. Is it visible? Read the slide. I'm making this as a comment. I'm creating the same program but by using the for loop. The reserved word is for, same as in the PHP code as well. the body of for, and there must be 3 parts. The first is your initialization, the second is the condition, and the third one is your increment or decrement, depends on. So I'm defining one variable, that is number is equal to 1 semicolon. Second, the number should be executed, the value is less than or equal to 12 semicolon, and the third is the increment part. The number should be incremented. Clear? Now write the statement. If you have one statement, so no need to create the body. If more than one statement, then create the body for loop. So I'm going to print that the loop is executed for time and line break. Save it and we will see the result. The loop is executed for 1 time, the loop is executed for 2 times, 3 times, 4, 5 and up till 12. So you see the code, all the things are in one statement. Now for writing the for loop, we have the PHP method as well. So the PHP method is the same loop, the same example. So initializing a value 1 semicolon. Now for, so you just initialize the first part of for loop above. So if you initialize it above, so in the PHP type you need to put a semicolon, so it will get its value automatically from the top. The second part, condition less than or equal to 12 semicolon. If you define it on the top here, so you need to put a semicolon. If you didn't put, it will not get its value. Look at here, it is giving you error on line number 55. Why? Because you initialize the value on top, put a semicolon, so it will get its value automatically from this variable. Why? Because you define the expression, the condition, the test part here. Clear? If you define 2 variables, so still it will get the value of this one. Why? Because it will check this condition, this variable condition. And wait, I will write it outside. Print the same statement. The loop is the for loop. The for loop is executed time. And the increment part is now declared here. Number plus plus. But you need to put semicolon here as well. Wait, let me check. Execute it and we will see the result. I told you that if there are more than one statement,
Create a body.
yes, so create the body. So there are 2 statements, but we didn't create the body. So after the expression, create the body for loop and save it. It executes itself for infinite times. Now it will execute itself for the finite number of times because it was outside the body. هغه دا کنسیډر کوي چې دا د لوپ پارت نه دی پوه شوې دا انکریمنٹ نو دا چې څوک پورې ستا پیج هغه کوي اسکرپټ لوډ کوي هغه ټایمز پورې هغه ایگزیکیوټ کوي پوه شو او چې کله د باډي کې دننه واچي نو هغه بیا